Kenneth Branagh portrays Boris Johnson in This England, Sky Atlantic's 5-part docudrama covering the former Prime Minister's rise to power, the start of the pandemic, his hospitalisation and birth of his son with his wife, Carrie. Branagh fans have been anticipating the Frankenstein actor's appearance since January 2021 when he was first announced as the starring role, alongside Ophelia Lovibond, 36, as Carrie Johnson and Andrew Buchan, 43, as Matt Hancock. In an interview with the Sunday Times in September, Branagh, 61, shared a unique insight into what he had discovered stepping into Johnson's shoes, namely his isolated position of power. He described the former Prime Minister as a top-heavy, barreling physicality heading into the world. A very hunched-forward kind of guy. The veteran actor is known not just for his Hollywood roles, but also for his stage repertoire where he directed and starred in multiple Shakespeare plays. Branagh noted playing the kings of Shakespeare's time created a similar reaction as playing Johnson. He revealed, when you're playing Shakespearean kings, the main part of the performance is given to you by those who react to you in the way they might to a king. I found that was the case in this instance. The actor spent hours every morning in the makeup chair getting a great share of prosthetics, makeup and a solid wig to embody Johnson's unmistakable likeness. Walking onto the set in costume helped him embody the former Prime Minister's confidence, Branagh noted, to the point where even his fellow actors changed their attitude towards him. He said, "I didn't really see another actor as myself, so when I came on the set people responded a bit like their characters might, to the Prime Minister." Additionally, the separation from his peers imbued a certain loneliness the actor senses in Johnson. Originally, Branagh's casting saw skeptics doubting his ability to encompass the man the country knows so well. Boris Johnson resignations in full, every Tory departures as PM enters impossible stage. Boris Johnson was dealt a hammer blow by his senior ministers yesterday, as both Rishi Sunak and Sajid Javid resigned from his cabinet, placing the Prime Minister in peril. Those two resignations opened the floodgates, and the number has now entered double figures. However, Branagh has not gone light on his research, having read Johnson's writings, from his books all the way back to his student journalism pieces during his Oxford years. And his physical transformation in the trailers has been enough to convince many. This is not the first real figure Branagh has portrayed, having played actor Laurence Olivier and William Shakespeare in the past, but has not attempted a role that the character himself could watch. Outside of Downing Street, the series also reportedly filmed in care homes, hospitals and ambulances with hundreds of actors recreating the traumatic moments of the pandemic. The show utilized closed parts of Ealing and Hartlepool hospitals and medical campuses in Sunderland and Newcastle to film during most of 2021. As lockdown rules began to ease, the Sunday Times reported that a care home in Nottingham let the crew film on site among the residents and staff, with some even appearing in the show. This is also where some have taken issue with the show, questioning if it's necessary to dramatize such a traumatic piece of modern history at this moment. Branagh weighed in on the debate saying, "There will be those who say it's too soon. I think these events are unusual and part of what we must do is acknowledge them. It might allow people to process a little of what went on. Any way of understanding it better is important." This England director, Michael Winterbottom, 61, defended his decision to chronicle the events to express People kept saying it's a bit like the spirit of the Blitz, which in a way is a cliché, but in a way is true. Everyone had been affected by it. It was a once-in-a-century experience. It is not Winterbottom's first time creating politically charged entertainment based on recent events, with his documentary-styled dramas including 1997's Welcome to Sarajevo following two reporters inside the besieged city during the chaotic events of 1992. The show's director tragically suffered personal loss during the pandemic as his mother died in the summer of 2020. Although she did not have COVID, Winterbottom was not allowed to visit her in her last days due to the restrictions. The writer-director reportedly started working on This England in June 2020, just months after the seriousness of COVID-19 was realised. He hoped his decision to cast Branagh as the former London mayor would flatter Johnson, telling Express. Of all the people who could play Boris, he is a great actor and I hope Boris would be pleased he's portraying him. Despite some saying it's too soon, the show's release has already been delayed once. This England was scheduled to launch on September 21, but in light of Queen Elizabeth II's death, the show was delayed until September 28. This England is now available to watch on Sky Atlantic and Now.